It's a navigation error that one flight crew will probably never live down. Pilots flying a jumbo jet mistakenly landed at a small Kansas airport. The crew missed the Air Force base where they were supposed to deliver parts. Steve Niles joins us with the details. So where's the jumbo jet now?
Good news, Rashmi. It is safely landed where it wanted to at McConnell Air Force Base in Kansas. This was the moment earlier this hour, and if I could speed it up, I would. But this is well, you've all seen this before. This is an airplane taking off successfully. The Dreamliner there is delivering parts of other airplanes, so it's planes within planes. But anyways, this is the scene as it took off last hour. Now, you're probably wondering, why do we care about this plane that landed at the Vaughan Airport? Well, that is why we care about this, because a comedy of errors led up to this large plane landing at an airport that was it's just frankly incapable of actually handling an airplane of that size. How did this happen? Well, this happened last night. Actually, before we do that, I just want to show you, just to add to some sort of how strange this whole story is. You can see on here, this is actually the flight map last night, or excuse me, from today, from the flight earlier this hour. The airports are only actually about 14 kilometers away from each other. The route that they had to get to, 124 kilometers, just to circle around, and they took off in heavy fog and everything. This has not been a simple story. But I digress. How did we actually get to this sort of situation? Well, here you can see this is all happening outside Wichita, Kansas, and you can see right there is McConnell Air Force Base. This is where the plane was originally supposed to be going. However, it ended up at its other airport, a much smaller one, Jabara Airport. It happened last night. It happened during night, so obviously visibility wasn't great. Kansas in particular, it's very flat, not a lot of landmarks out there, so that could be one of the reasons why it got lost. Thankfully, no one hurt in this place. Everyone's fine. The plane's landed safely. But I want to read you a little bit of what happened with the air traffic controllers last night, just to add to the madness. McConnell is 9 miles south of you, said the air traffic controller. The pilot responded with, "Yes, sir, we just landed at the other airport." So, Reshma, you can tell that this has just been a very, very strange situation.
So why didn't they just take off as soon as they realized their error?
Because if you've ever tried to park, would be like trying to park a limousine into a garage. You can get part of it in there, and it's not going to, be able to get out. I don't know. That's not a particularly good analogy, Reshmi. Forgive me. But as you can see, just by the size of this plane, it landed the airport at Jabara Airport. Actually, the runway there is only about half the size of what they typically need to take off. So what they had to do with this plane, they took a lot of the fuel out of it to make it lighter. They didn't have a particularly full load, so they just sort of backed it up to the end of the runway, punched the gas, and thankfully, as you saw, they were able to get going. But I'm not, again, why this happened. Maybe they just forgot to ask for directions.
Yeah, maybe, Steve.
Thanks. You're welcome.